and welcome to PowerDrift. Now 2 years ago when I drove the Octavia RS 230, I called it your next car purchase, if you remember. In fact, I recommended it big time to everyone, knowing very well that good cars with internal combustion engines, their days were numbered. Here we are 2 years later with my claim having stood the test of time.
Because it's now a fact that the next iteration will be a hybrid. So the question actually still stands. Can the new RS 245 be your next purchase?
Alright, let's get started. Let's keep in mind that this is a car with its horsepower number in its name, in the title, which is RS 245. Every time that happens, you can be assured that when you step on the gas in such a car, the experience is going to be wholesome. I'm going to add into that experience by turning on launch control, which is by turning off the traction control, putting this into sports mode. Are we in sports mode? Yes. And now stepping on the gas, launch control active. Here we go. 2 liters of inline 4-cylinder. No torque steer happening in RS 245 as against to the RS 230 because of the electromechanical differential on the front axle. Good speeds doing already. Launch controls always being fun. This car, of course, it's doing 0 to 100 in about 6.41 seconds. Point to be remembered is that this has a DQ380 7-speed DSG, not a 6-speed DSG as was the case in the RS 230. Now, 380 essentially means this transmission is officially rated for 380 Newton meters of torque. The torque on this car is 370 Newton meters. Of course, if you go about slapping performance parts onto this car and start extracting about 400-450 Newton meters of torque, I think this same very transmission will still take it. Okay, back to driving then. What we are to care about is how the Skoda RS 245 handles in corners. So I'm about to enter a slalom course right here on the airstrip, which is going to tell me how the electromechanical differential really works. And it works because, well, it is torque vectoring between the front two wheels. The earlier RS 230 wasn't really doing that, and it wasn't doing that because it did not have clutch pack on the front axle to be doing it. What it did was basically brake vectoring and hence ran out of brake pads if you really did a whole lot of cornering. The handling seems to be pretty nice. I seem to miss turns, corners. By the way, since Raunak entered my video unannounced, it kind of threw me off. The thing that we should really be starting off to talk about the RS 245 is something that would make the car appealing even to those who haven't heard its name ever before, and that would be the interiors of this car.
A good interior is that which makes you want to buy the car, and the Octavia RS 245 has just that for an interior. An all-black cabin with Alcantara around everywhere, red stitching and an all-digital instrument cluster.
Now, of course, this amount of torque vectoring ensures that though the car is nose heavy, that there will be little understeer to compete with the BMW's rear wheel drives. Whoa.
You really shouldn't have dropped that name.
What name?
BMW, specifically the BMW 330i.
Why not?
Okay, answer me this. How much does the RS 245 cost?
Well, the RS 230, it costed just 25 lakh rupees.
And the RS 245?
This is a CBU, that one was a CKD, so this is going to cost you more.
You're not giving me a number at all.
Well, what do you want? I mean, the next iteration of this car is a hybrid, we know that. It's got 1.4 liters of engine, 80 kilowatts of electric motor.
So let me figure out exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that this can be your next purchase?
This could be your next car purchase.
Okay, Rohan's train of thought isn't really very clear. I think what's coming in the way of him recommending this wholeheartedly is the fact that this costs in excess of 40 lakh on road. But can this be your next car purchase? We're going to answer that comprehensively when we comprehensively review this very soon. Stay tuned to PowerDrift and thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.
Alright guys, here's what I'm gonna do, and this is not part of the script. Nothing here today was a part of the script. By the way, so sorry for this very short not so elaborate video, and that's because very little time here. What I'm going to do with my crew in the car is I'm going to put this in launch control very quickly once again in sports mode. Because please have your seatbelt on. Yeah, what's the launch control sequence in your next car purchase? Well, shift it into sports mode by pressing the RS button that cycles through the different drive modes. Then traction control off, it says deactivated. Now step on the gas pedal with the brake pedal on. Launch control program active. We take off.